Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the City of Bettendorf City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. It is 7:28 p.m. We did not start at 7, though we gathered downstairs in a safe room as the storm passed. And of course, since we didn't have much of a storm, but better safe than sorry. And thank you all for your indulgence. So I'm sorry that we're getting started a little bit late. Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Adamson.
Here.
Brown. Here. Jaeger.
Here.
Nauman.
Here.
Sexer.
Here.
Baden.
Here.
Palczynski.
Here. Thank you all for being here. And now, if you could all please rise, remove any caps or headdresses you may have. Join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by an invocation given by Bettendorf Police Chaplain and Pastor of Hope Baptist Church, Pastor Mark Cannon. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor Mark, thank you for being here.
Bow our heads in prayer. Father, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for keeping us safe tonight. Thank you for these members of this city council who serve this city with diligence. Father, I pray that you'd bless the meeting as it proceeds. I pray that you watch over the events of the evening. Use this time, Father, to bestow wisdom and guidance on this body. And I pray that your work would be done. We pray these things in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Mark. We appreciate you and all you do in our community. We had 3 recognitions tonight, but due to the weather, our Bettendorf and Pleasant Valley state championship teams will join us on a different meeting, and I believe it'll be on the 16th if that works for both of them, and we'll do it just the second meeting here yet this month. But we do have a very important recognition, and for that, I welcome Karen Carcel Lackey to the front, and we'll have some other folks join us with you as I come up here. You, sir. Brian, are you coming up? Public Works Director Brian Schmidt is here, but our Transit Operations Manager Austin Whelan is here. And Austin, thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do. This is a nice opportunity to honor you. So Karen has received the 2024 IPTA Annual Award that recognizes drivers for their dedicated service. So Karen is here with Brian and with Austin, and Austin's looking at some notes. Maybe Austin's going to say something. That'll be good. The Iowa Public Transit Association recognizes drivers each year for their dedicated service to our local communities. The IPTA sets minimum criteria that drivers must meet in order to be eligible for the award. Those criteria include a clean work record, no attendance violations, an excellent safety record, and they must have driven at least 780 hours in the past 12 months. Bettendorf staff reviewed this criteria along with feedback from staff, passenger compliments received, and contributions made by Karen to creating an inclusive and positive workplace experience. Bettendorf Transit is honored to nominate Karen Carcel Lackey for an award this year for her outstanding work and all of the eligibility criteria I just discussed. She's a great representative for Bettendorf Transit, and she cares deeply about the needs and the safety of the passengers and fellow drivers. Karen will receive this award on between June 5th and 8th at the IPTA annual meeting and training conference. But today we get the opportunity to honor you and say thank you for being a great example and doing the great stuff that we hope all of our citizens see and all of our employees. So thank you for being a shining example. Austin, would you like to say a few words? Come on up.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it any better than you did, Mayor, so thank you. I would just say when looking at the criteria, Ryan and I discussed, I think we had a unanimous decision instantly that Karen would be nominated for this award. So as you said, we were honored to do so, and I don't think I could think of a better transit driver and employee to receive this award. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And in recognition of the award, we have a little glass flask for you. In recognition of Bettendorf Public Works Transit Operator Karen Karsalaki, fiscal year 23-24 Iowa Public Transit Association Professional Driver of the Year.
You're here.
I was surprised.
Good.
Well, I've been here for 12 and a half years, Your Honor, and you've been here for 33 years and 3 months. That's amazing. So, you know, when, like Austin said earlier, when we first knew about this award, we sat across the table and the first thing that came to my mind was Karen. So you're a dedicated, passionate employee, and I couldn't think of anybody else that is more deserving of such an award. So thank you so much for all you do for the city of Bettendorf and our transit division. And I'm proud that you received this.
You're here.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good job.
You're welcome. Congratulations. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
All right,
job,
I
Karen.
believe we have a proclamation. All right, we have Parks and Recreation Month. This proclamation was requested by our Director of Culture and Recreation, Kim Kidwell. She's also here to receive it. Thank you, Kim. You may not have actually requested it. We saw it and said, hey, we got to get this done. Bring Kim to the front.
Got it.
Thank you, Jared. I do have a proclamation. Okay, yeah, come on up, Jason. Liz. All right, and a proclamation from the Office of the Mayor. Whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of communities, including the city of Bettendorf, Iowa, contributing to economic prosperity through increased property values, increased tourism, and attraction and retention of businesses. And whereas Parks and Recreation promote health and wellness, improves the physical and mental health of people who live in our community, and encourages physical activities by providing spaces for sports, trails, biking, and other opportunity for children and adults to connect with nature and the outdoors. And whereas Parks and Recreation, along with its professionals, provide programming and educational activities year-round, and is committed to programming for all ages and abilities. Now therefore, I, Robert Gallagher, the Mayor of the City of Bettendorf, Iowa, do hereby proclaim the month of July as Parks and Recreation Month, and July 19th, 2024 as Parks and Recreation Professionals Day in the city of Bettendorf. I encourage all citizens to celebrate this year's Parks and Recreation theme of Where You Belong by visiting local parks here in Bettendorf and throughout the Quad Cities, and thank your Parks and Recreation professionals for a job well done.
Here,
here.
So I want to thank you for the proclamation. I have Liz Solis Willis, our rec manager, and Jason Menthel, our parks maintenance supervisor. As you can imagine, it takes many people to make our 26 parks look beautiful and have great programs. Not only our full-time staff, but we have dozens of part-time staff, hands-on out there every day. Our volunteers, our park ambassadors. This year we have 750 kids in playground program. We have 700 kids in day camp. We have 200 kids in tennis. We have like just under 3,000 kids in programs all summer long.
Wow.
So it takes a lot of hands to make that happen. So this month we're kind of celebrating it, and we want everybody to check out our social media. Post some things that you're doing in the park, so you're having fun. If you post with hashtag where you belong, you might win a prize.
All right.
We have weekly themes, so just keep an eye on our social media, and we just want to celebrate everybody in our department this month and all year long, but this month for Parks Appreciation Month. So
Fantastic.
Right.
Speaking of socials, the obligatory picture.
great. Good job.
Awesome. Thank you all. Good to see you. Thank you. Good job. Appreciate you and your staff.
Chief, still good?
Okay, we've come to public requests of council. If there's anybody here who wishes to be heard on an item not already on tonight's agenda for a public hearing, you may be heard by council. You can approach the podium in the back. Please state your name and your address. Please limit your comments to 2 or 3 minutes. Please try not to be repetitive and refrain from outbursts like clapping and yelling. Please be respectful with your comments. Is there anybody here who wishes to be heard at public requests of council? Just head on over, Trish, or whoever. Yep.
Good evening. My name is Trish Wilger. My address is 3213 Field Site Drive in Bettendorf. I've lived there since 2006. Our backyard backs up to a very steep slope that goes down to Glenbrook Circle. I'm here to address a weed problem on the berm at the back of my yard and that slope that goes down to Glenbrook Circle. When the development went in a few years ago, we were told at meetings that the builder would be required to maintain that slope behind us as well as the berm at the back of our property, and that they would be required to plant prairie grass. And I'm here to tell you a 4 to 5 year ordeal that they have done none of this. Not only are the weeds above the 10-inch requirement, but the bulk of them are noxious weeds, the worst of which are Canada thistle and bull thistle, in violation of noxious weed laws contained in the Iowa State Code 317 and chapters 421 through 425 of the Bettendorf City Ordinances. The intent of noxious weed laws is to protect landowners from having their land invaded by weeds growing on adjacent land. My neighbors and I are very much being invaded and have been for years. Today I watched thistles float all over our yards again as all the thistles have bloomed and gone to seed. During the past several years, we've called to report the weeds to the city. We've worked with our aldermen. I've also spoken with Scott County Weed Commissioner Brian Burkholder so frequently that he answers his cell phone with, "Hi, Trish." Brian told me he started with the Bettendorf Public Works Director, was referred to Mark Hunt, who got him in contact with Deb, the director of the Groves, then Megan, the property maintenance manager. And Mr. Burkholder has worked with them repeatedly. He's given them a complete plan for how and when to eradicate these weeds in an effective and economic manner. The property owner has told them that they are spraying the weeds and planting grass, and they have done nothing. They should be spraying for thistles in the fall. They did nothing. I have pictures here that we can go through. There's a view. This is from my yard looking at the berm. You can see a multitude of thistles. It's just loaded. So this is right on the edge of my grass. Now this is a view to our neighbors to the west. They back up to Quartet Senior Living, who maintains the land quite nicely. It looks great. Then you look, so this is taken just on Sunday on Glenbrook Circle North, looking down the sidewalk. You can see all the weeds. It's a very steep slope. Underneath the weeds, it's eroding. So there's houses to the right of the picture, and those neighbors face that weed patch all year long. So I can't imagine they're happy either. And this is a view from our yard looking down the back to our neighbors, the Stauffenbergs, who are, Mr. Stauffenberg is here. They have more grass there, but it's very high compared to their fence. And actually someone was out there weed whacking just this afternoon. I think they knew we were coming here, so they were trying to do something. I don't know if there was a picture. I don't know if it was up there while I was talking. Yeah, so here's a picture of a tomato plant covered in thistles. I'm a Scott County master gardener, and it's really kind of heartbreaking when your garden looks like this and all your produce is covered in thistle seeds. This is another view Sunday of the thistles. And this is our yards. All of our yards look like this in the summer. That's not snow, it's thistle seeds just totally covering our lawn. And more thistle seeds there. And that gives you the contrast, the Quartet Senior Living side and the landowner that's behind us and our neighbors to the east. And more views of this same. There's the homes there that look at that weed patch. So it's been incredibly frustrating to have to keep calling. I'm sure our alderman is tired of us. We shouldn't have to come here and talk to you about thistles. You shouldn't have to listen to this, but it's just really out of hand. It's been 4 or 5 years. These people do nothing, and it damages our property. So I'm asking you to do something to enforce these ordinances and hold them to some type of schedule, get them to remove the noxious weeds and do away with those as they are required to under law. But thank you for your time and I appreciate your work.
Thank you, Trish. Always nice to see you. This has been a continued thorn or thistle in our sides as well.
Good evening. My name is Hank Stauffenberg, 3275 Fieldside Drive. I don't want to be here, and you probably don't want me to hear me whining about what's been going on for the past 5 years. What Trish put out is factual. It's true. I am at the epicenter and part of the downwind hazard of all the seeds that come out of that hillside, because the predominant wind is from the south to southeast. I am directly across from that, so all the seeds come to us. They don't go into that new development. They could care less. I know that the mayor and his wife came out to see what we have to deal with on a regular basis. And I just hope that based on city ordinance, that something be done to prevent this from happening. My air conditioner compressor was totally clogged with the seeds. My yard, my garden, and all my flowering plants, I have nothing to do but weeds to contend with. I've served this country for 42 years. This is my retirement home, and I'm kind of tired of having to whine and complain about something that should be taken care of. So I want to thank Trish and Steve for presenting it much better than I could. Thank you.
Thanks, Hank. It's nice to see you. Anybody else on public requests of council?
Evening, Mayor and Council. My name's Steve Wilger, 3213 Field Site Drive in Bettendorf. You know, Trish showed you in a better way than I could say it, exactly what's been happening to our yard for the last 5 years. The property owner behind us has said on multiple times that he would spray in the fall to kill the weeds in the grass that are growing on that slope, and in the spring plant native grasses or non-mowing grasses. Time after time after time again. Somebody just recently told me that he said that he had gone out there and sprayed. Well, I can tell you that if you went out to back there, that berm today, that has never been sprayed. What I would ask of the council is to hold this contractor to his responsibility to the residents that back up to his land and the community that has to look at the eyesore of what is actually falling apart. I know you saw on that one slope that there is a huge amount of that slope that is caving, and only half of that sidewalk is now showing. That is going to keep getting worse and worse and worse every year until he is made to do something about that. So what I would ask is that you sit down with the property owner, make a mandate on what he has to do in order to satisfy the needs of the community. And if there is anything that he does out there, that somebody from Public Works go out and observe it being done. Because 2 or 3 times I have told that he's been doing something and he never's done it. So please
we're sick and tired of doing this, and you're sick and tired of hearing from us. There's only one way to fix that, and that's with the person that owns the property. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Good to see you. Anybody else on public request of council? Mr. Hunt, I know that this has been something you have been working on now 2+ years. Any thoughts or comment? I know you provided us with a memo of where we're at and your communication with Mr. Eastep on June 20th, 2024. So these efforts are ongoing. Would you like to address us, or you think that the memo speaks for itself, which it very well might? I'm just giving you an opportunity.
No, I appreciate the chance to address the council. I think,
Mark, can you please use your mic?
I appreciate the chance to address the council. I think that there's been a long history here. There's been fits and starts. We've gotten progress, we've gotten compliance, and then it kind of goes back. So, our ability to enforce that is somewhat limited due to the terrain, the cost of the enforcement. It's not like a normal lawn case, if you would. This is a pretty steeply sloped area, as was mentioned. So we continue to implore the property owner to follow our code. We've also used our own staff to see if we can come up with a plan. We visited the site with Brian Hickey from our golf course to maybe see if there's a better vegetation plan. It is a difficult site, and management is going to be difficult, and it's the responsibility of the property owner to do that management.
Okay, so we'll continue to be diligent on the property owner, is what I'm hearing you say?
We have been, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else on public requests of council? I will close public requests of council. Let's move to the public hearing with regard to the 2024 sidewalk repair program. Brian, this is our annual program.
It is, sir.
Anything you want to share with council?
No, this is just removing and replacing existing or deteriorated handicap ramps in various locations across the city. This year, we've identified 46 locations to bring them up to ADA code.
Okay, any questions for Brian? Michelle, did we publish notice of this public hearing?
Yes, we did, Your Honor, and I do have affidavit of publication.
Did we receive any written correspondence with regard to the same?
No, we did not.
All right, let's open the public hearing with regard to the 2024 sidewalk repair program. And our visitors have left, so I think I know why all three of you are here. Thank you very much for being here and the good work you do for the city. But we will close that public hearing. Let's move to the resolution. Councilmember Palczynski, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution approving the plan, specification, and form of contract for the 2024 sidewalk repair program. I move approval of the resolution.
Second. Any discussion on this annual program? Michelle, please call the roll.
Brown.
Aye.
Jaeger.
Aye.
Nauman.
Aye.
Sexer.
Aye.
Baden.
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye.
Adamson.
Aye.
All right, we have unanimously approved the 2024 sidewalk repair program. Let's move to the parking lot resurfacing project at Palmer Hills Golf Course. Brian, you want to tackle that one too?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. This is just rehabilitating the two parking lots up at Palmer Hills. We are going to be milling and putting down new asphalt, adding a couple parking spots in some locations. But it's important to note that this does not close the golf course. We'll be working in concert with the team up there and go ahead and stage this so that it doesn't affect any events or people playing golf up there.
Thank you. Questions for Brian? Yes, Councilmember Addison.
Refresh my memory, Brian. I know this is rehab, but are we making it bigger as well at some point?
In some locations, we can. We're kind of restricted due to
Sure.
the topography over there to the west side
Sure.
and obviously the pavilion just to the south there. But yet we're going to try to squeeze in, I think, about 10 new spots.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Further questions for, yes,
This does not
Councilmember
include any
Palczynski.
additional, thank you, Your Honor. This does not include any additional gutter work, correct? Just the surface?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
But it's important to note that we will be replacing the driveway this fall under a different contract because we have to replace that large culvert that comes in at the entrance down there off of Middle.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Schmidt? Okay. Michelle, did we publish notice of this public hearing?
Yes, we did, Your Honor, and I do have affidavit of publication.
Did we receive any written correspondence with regard to the same?
No, we did not.
All right, let's open the public hearing with regard to resurfacing the parking lot at Palmer Hills. Anybody here wish to be heard on this item? We'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Adamson, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution approving the plan specifications and form of contract for the Palmer Hills parking lot resurfacing project. I move approval of the resolution.
Second.
Any further discussion on this item? Saying none, Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Brown. Aye. Jaeger.
Aye.
Nauman.
Aye.
Sexer.
Aye.
Baden.
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye.
Adamson.
Aye.
All right, we have unanimously approved the Palmer Hills parking lot restructure. Let's see if Crow Creek fares the same. Brian?
Thank you, Your Honor. There's a section of seal coat asphalt up there in front of the dog parks. And we're just going to be milling that off and then actually putting down asphalt because in the summer months when it gets hot, the oil bubbles up. Obviously, people are tracking it in their cars and it gets very hot and burns the bottom of the dog's feet. So by milling that off and then putting an asphalt section in there, that'll subside that issue.
Any questions for Brian on this project? Michelle, did we publish notice of this public hearing?
Yes, we did, Your Honor, and I do have affidavit of publication.
Did we receive any written correspondence with regard to this?
No, we did not.
Let's open the public hearing, please, on the Crow Creek parking lot resurfacing project we just heard about. Anybody wish to be heard on this item? Close the public hearing, move to a resolution. Councilmember Baden, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution approving the plan specifications and form of contract for the Crow Creek parking lot resurfacing project. I move approval of the resolution.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on this resolution, understanding what is happening at Crow Creek? Okay, Michelle, please call the roll.
Brown. Aye. Jaeger.
Aye.
Nauman.
Aye.
Sexer.
Aye.
Baden.
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye.
Adamson.
Aye.
All right, we move to 3 second readings. The first is for Councilmember Sexer with regard to our downtown master plan.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have the second reading of an ordinance amending Title 10, Building and Development of the Bettendorf City Code, Chapter 1, Comprehensive Plan, Section 10-1-1. Composition by adopting the Downtown Master Plan Update and the Streetscape Plan. I move approval of the ordinance at its second reading.
Second. We've had a first reading and a lot of discussion on this in committee of the whole. It's been going on for quite a while. Is there any discussion at this time from council on our second reading? Michelle, please call the roll.
Brown. Aye. Jaeger.
Aye.
Nauman.
Aye.
Sexer.
Aye.
Baden.
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye.
Adamson.
Aye.
All right, we have unanimously passed the second reading of the Downtown Master Plan and Streetscape Plan. There will be 3 readings. We move to another second reading, this with regard to our comprehensive plan. Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have the second reading of an ordinance amending Title 10, Building and Development. City Code, Chapter 1, Comprehensive Plan, Section 10-1-1, composition by adopting premiering Bettendorf Comprehensive Plan Update for 2045. I move approval of the ordinance at its second reading.
Second.
Any discussion on our second reading? Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Brown.
Aye.
Jaeger.
Aye.
Nauman.
Aye.
Sexer.
Aye.
Baden.
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye.
Adamson.
Aye.
All right, we have unanimously passed the second reading of the comp plan update. Second reading of the zoning change. This is for Councilmember Nauman, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have the second reading of an ordinance amending the preamble to Title 11 zoning regulations, development character area, and applicable zoning district table of the Bettendorf City Code. I move approval of the ordinance at its second reading.
Second. Same thing, second reading. Any discussion here? Having heard about it this at a committee of the whole and a prior meeting. Okay, Michelle, please call the roll.
Brown. Jaeger.
With thanks to Councilmember Nauman, I vote aye.
Nauman.
Aye.
Sexer.
Aye.
Baden.
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye.
Adamson.
Aye.
All right, we have unanimously passed the second reading and we'll look forward to a third. We move to our consent agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the same at this time.
So moved.
Any discussion on any particular item on consent this evening? All right, Michelle, would you please call the roll on consent?
Brown. Aye. Jaeger.
Aye.
Nauman.
Aye.
Sexer.
Aye.
Baden.
Aye.
Palczynski.
Aye.
Adamson.
Aye.
We have approved each and every item on consent unanimously this evening. Before we adjourn, 2 quick updates. We'll let our Director of Public Works, Brian Schmidt, give us a little bit of a flood update as we hear thunder clacking outside. Would it be
Thank you, Your
clacking,
Honor.
crashing? What would the thunder do? Crashing outside. Okay, there you have it.
Booming.
Rumble.
Rumble, I like that.
That's a good one.
Brian, you have the floor. I'm sorry.
No, thank you, Your Honor. Summer floods are a lot different than the floods we experience in the spring. They come much quicker, and there's a lot of variability in the water that comes down as far as estimating as all the tributaries drain into the river. Just last week, we were informed that the crest at Locking Dam 15 was going to be under 18 feet. According to our latest data from the National Weather Service, the crest is now expected to be 20 feet this coming Sunday, July 7th, and then begin dropping after that. It's important to note that this expected crest height is may change plus or minus 6 inches. Obviously, as you hear the thunder cracking out there, a lot of this rain that we received tonight went up north, obviously is draining into the tributaries, which is actually going to be right on top of that flood that's coming down there now, that flood bubble. So we may see some changes in the next coming days. But however, I can assure you all that we are prepared. Let's start down on the east end of town with the residents around and along Harbor Drive. When we first were notified of the potential flooding on the Mississippi River, that the anticipated crest height on June 24th of around 18 feet, we notified the HOA president down there and started coordinating with those residents. We shared the information that we had at the time, and then we began making sandbags up at Public Works to deliver to them. My operations team continues to coordinate with all the residents down there and the HOA president. And as of today, we delivered over 37,000 sandbags to the residents down there. Obviously, we anticipate the water to come over the road in the next couple of days. So we do have a large dumpster on the north end of the Harbor Drive there so that they can bring their trash up and dump it there, which we will collect after the flood crests out through that area. Staff has also supplied over 2,000 sandbags to the PB Fire Station to support those residents on 245th Street in Scott County, just east of Harbor Drive. We also delivered 700 sandbags to residents on River Bend Road, just south of the Bettendorf Industrial Park. Moving west over to Leach Park, staff closed the entrance to the park this morning and constructed a double layer of concrete Lego blocks with visqueen and sandbags to support the projected crest elevation of 20 feet. However, if the river is expected to crest or exceed 21 feet, we have contractors on standby to place the bulkhead wall in place, and that only takes us a couple hours to do. So we'll get more information in the morning, obviously, with the rain events that we are experiencing now. Moving west over to River Drive and 8th, staff has staged concrete Lego blocks on the concrete pad from the curb line of River Drive over to the railroad tracks. We have also placed and staged concrete Lego blocks behind this wall if we need to close River Drive with coordination of the Iowa DOT and the city of Davenport. Obviously, at some point, we anticipate them to close Mound Street and River Drive, and then once that closure takes place, we are ready. We've already made contact with Bi-State Barricade, who will mobilize in and start that process if needed. With the city of Davenport mobilizing their flood fighting teams on River Drive, we also assisted the Iowa American Water plant down on River Drive by delivering them 3,000 sandbags last week to support their flooding efforts if needed. Last week, we began coordinating with the CPKC Railroad, spoke with Kyle Spree over there, and we will continue to coordinate with their team on River Drive and 8th if flooding is expected to exceed 21 feet. Last week and over the course of this week, my staff has done an excellent job, as always, in preparing for this coming flood, but it's important to note that they have also spent a tremendous amount of time and effort in preparing for the 4th of July festivities that are going to be taking place this week. Cleanup efforts in downtown at the entry points of Bettendorf, and for all those residents and attendees of the John Deere Classic that are going to be visiting our area. And I can't thank them enough for all the hard work they do. I must also recognize the fire department and HR staff who has also helped us provide sandbagging up there at Public Works, and I just appreciate all the staff's effort for helping us out.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions for Brian? Yes, Councilmember Sexer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do we anticipate state funding or federal funding to reimburse us for some of these costs?
There's probably two different, at least buckets. There's also some funding that's possible through the MRCTI that I've been a member of for 12 years, but certainly the state has declared a disaster based mostly or somewhat on the western part. So we've piggybacked into that. If there's a presidential declaration, then FEMA will step in. I haven't seen that there is a presidential declaration yet.
There is.
There is. So there's a presidential declaration that's been determined. So FEMA money, and we've been tracking that. Jason assured me yesterday or whatever it was that he's been tracking, and these guys I know, we all know how to track it, and they've done a really good job so far. So thank you for that.
There is, if Your Honor, if I could add to that,
Absolutely.
there is a threshold amount that has to get hit to be part of the declaration. We think that the amount that we, Scott County and Davenport will spend will probably hit that threshold. And if the declaration, the presidential has been declared, if it applies to the whole state, then we would be eligible for those funds. And we're doing the accounting, as the mayor mentioned, like we always do, to make that a reality.
Other questions?
Thank you.
Related to the flood information.
Mine's not.
Okay. So then, on a happy note, let's get an update on the 4th of July. Angie, will you help us on the happy side of things?
I would love to, Your Honor. Yes, let's hope that the weather is a lot better than it is right now. But at this time, all of our 4th of July festivities are scheduled to go on time as planned. It's going to be a wonderful day. And we invite the entire community and all of our neighboring communities to come out for our parade, which starts at 10 o'clock in downtown Bettendorf. Our festival, which starts at
The
noon.
grand marshal of that. Remind me what the heck.
Somebody pretty close to you, Your Honor. It's going to be a wonderful day for sure. We have our festival starting at noon on Spruce Hills Drive. Spruce Hills Drive closes at 8 a.m. tomorrow to get ready for the festival. Live bands on 2 stages going all the way to 10 p.m. Tons of family-friendly activities, food vendors, drink vendors as well. And then, of course, our fireworks show. What does Decker always say? In the park at dark. In Middle Park at dark.
In the Midwest.
On the night of the 4th. So we are monitoring the weather very closely, obviously, with our staff as well as the National Weather Service and local meteorologists. As we get closer, we'll be providing a lot more updates on social media through our Alert Iowa text messaging and email system. And of course, on our website, www.bettendorf.org/4th of July. I strongly encourage, if you want to be in the know, just go to www.bettendorf.org/be-in-the-know so that you have all the customizable ways that you can communicate with the city. But again, we anticipate everything going on as scheduled. If we do need to cancel any of our events, the only event that would be rescheduled would be the fireworks on Saturday, July 6th. So the parade would not be rescheduled. The festival would not be rescheduled, but the fireworks would be for Saturday, July 6th. But we will make every attempt possible to hold the fireworks on the night of the 4th.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Any questions for Angie? Councilmember Adamson.
Thank you. Since the pool is taking up, I mean, it's fenced, people obviously can't go in there to watch. Where are we suggesting that people congregate? Because usually that area is just packed with people.
Middle Park, middle school, that whole grassy field is available. And there are, believe me, all those neighborhoods, people find a way to find, but the middle school area is going to be a great spot.
Is there going to be?
There are people that go to the high school and sit in the bleachers and watch from there. There are people that go to Hoover Park and watch.
Is there going to be shuttle?
The shuttle.
We have a shuttle service that goes from noon until 9 p.m. You can also find details for that at www.bettendorf.org/4th of July.
What was that again? No. Thank you.
You bet. Other questions? Yes, Councilmember Brown.
Can I go back to the public forum thing? 2 questions. We're having him, or he's fertilizing just in the fall and spring, it sounds like. Can we?
Weed spraying.
Or,
Weed spraying, not fertilizing.
or weed, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we have him do spring? And Jason, since you're here, I don't know if it's called W2 or W4, but they can do that almost like once a month. Farmers do that in their ditches.
So we'll have Mark continue to work with them. And if you've got like suggestions, certainly talk to Mark and have him do it. It was public request to council, so I don't know that we're really in the right spot to try to mull it over. But we certainly can, we'd love your input if you've got some ideas.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if I should talk then, but this stuff just kicks butt. So, and then didn't know if we should be edging that sidewalk. It's covered. So, okay, that's it.
Good idea. If you've got more, I know Mark and Jason would love it if we had ideas to help this thing solve itself. Anything else for the go to the order this evening?
Mayor?
Yes.
What's going on from noon to 2?
Yeah, ice cream.
Ah.
It's 4th of July. Come get your free ice cream.
As a matter of fact, Your Honor, if I could just say, that idea was promulgated by Councilmember Jager probably 30 years ago, and I'm so glad that he's finally going to be back in action in the ice cream tent, handing out ice cream, because he neglected that duty for a long, long time, and I'm really glad that his idea is going to be reinstituted, and he's going to be part of the service delivery.
One for them, one for me. One for them, one for me.
And we should just say thanks to Jeff and Kim, who have spearheaded the team that has worked on that. They've done a great job with the committee, so thanks for all that work.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate everybody's involvement. All right, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We stand adjourned. Good work, people. Click out of your